Malcolm?
Janice, do you want to?
No.
Can I?
Anytime. What's that all about?
Well, don't you love yourself?
Sometimes, I guess. Yeah.
Well, if we didn't love ourselves, we'd let ourselves go to rack and ruin. Your husband wouldn't love you anymore. You'd starve to death if you didn't. Because you really do have to learn to look after yourself, both physically and emotionally. And if you remember, a little while ago, Blake joined us, Blake Bauer, who's right here with us now, and we were talking about learning
welcome to the program.
And we were talking before about really learning to love and respect yourself, weren't we?
Yes.
Because a lot of people sort of lose that, particularly as we get older. We lose the ability to... It's really just basic taking care of yourself, I guess, isn't it?
Yes, and I don't think a lot of us ever really learn fully how to do it effectively and in a healthy way. So when we're younger, our body can put up with more, our mind can put up with more, but as life goes on and maybe we wear a little bit down, you know, it comes to the forefront that maybe we don't know how to take care of our body, or maybe we don't know how to take care of our mind, you know, and that can be a big challenge for us as we age.
That's a really good point about taking care of our body too, because it's not only in the food we eat, but it's the exercise, the use of the body to keep us healthy.
Yes.
But we often forget, if we don't keep what's in here healthy, and to a degree what's in here, I suppose, because we truly don't know how the heart and the brain sort of coordinate together. We sort of feel that our love for each other is in our hearts, as we've been sort of, I suppose, over the years led to believe.
And I guess too, as a younger person, we think we're invincible.
Exactly.
So as we do get older, we realise that we're not that way.
I am.
We know you are, Malcolm. So you do start to think about how you need to take care of yourself emotionally,
Yes.
as well as physically.
I've found something quite interesting that I just want to share on this topic, which is that I've found if our emotional life, you know, the things that we feel in our heart and we think in our mind that we often don't talk about and we don't express often enough on a daily basis, if that doesn't matter to us, so if we don't actually value our thoughts and emotions, then we won't be able to value our body. So if basically emotionally, if we don't matter to ourselves, it's hard for us to actually take care of our body because we feel like, well, it's not really worth it, because it's the deeper emotional and psychological fulfillment and health that makes life worth living. That's why if we just go to the gym and take care of our body, or constantly go on diets to take care of our body and look good, but we don't have fulfilling relationships or fulfilling work or respect ourselves, then we can't be happy. So no matter how great our body looks or how many diets we're on, it doesn't fix the problem often.
So,
But we've got nothing to share, really.
Yes.
Because if you can't share something emotionally, you can look at your body and say, oh, you look pretty good. But where does it lead to after that?
Yes.
Really?
Well, yeah, often nowhere until we're forced, which often happens later in life as we age and we create or attract an illness or a disease, which in my experience is the buildup of this emotional and psychological stuff that's been bottled up for so many years.
but it's also, I think, too, where you get to that age and it becomes frustrating, but also, I think we spoke about this before, I think as you get older, you become more selfish. It's like you probably say normally, oh yes, that's fine, I can do that. Whereas I think as you get older, you actually feel strong enough to say, I'm sorry, but no, I actually don't want to do that anymore. Do you think? I mean, and that's healing yourself. It would be healing yourself.
Yes, I think it's necessary. I think too, as we age, you subconsciously or instinctually want to preserve life. You know, when you're younger, you feel like you have so much to give, even if it's to your own detriment. But as we get older and those reserves wear thin, which is like an energetic savings account for your health, as that wears thin, you don't have as much necessarily to give, at least maybe in physical action, you know, like doing things for other people, like cooking, cleaning, you know, helping them with their home or their family. And you have to become selfish in a healthier way, where you take care of your body as your joints begin to age or your digestion begins to slow, or we were talking about the loss of eyesight. You know, all of these things affect us, and I think actually are purposeful. It's part of our evolutionary growth.
Well, to move on to the next thing, in a way.
Yeah, the next chapter. You know, like when a tree loses its leaves, I don't think the tree gets angry about it. It just does it because it's a part of nature. So I've found in my own life and also with my work with a lot of people that the key to finding peace is to be able to accept whatever's going on in your life right now. So whatever's going on in your mind, your thoughts, whatever's going on in your heart, and whatever's going on in your body, but that also means whatever's going on in front of you. So for example, if I was fighting this experience and didn't want to be sitting here with you, I would be causing myself to suffer. But
Yeah, because I'd keep talking.
right. But the key is to accept, you know, whoever you're with and whatever you're experiencing without reacting to it, so you can make a conscious choice on how to better care for yourself or how to live a life that is true to who you really are.
Fulfilling.
Yeah, or say no when you mean no, and say yes when you mean yes, instead of being so afraid to say no because you think they won't love you, they won't like you, which actually is a subconscious reaction that goes back to our childhood when we're afraid of losing mom or dad's love, or afraid of them abusing us, or afraid of getting grounded, or we can't go out with our friends, or they won't give us pocket money. So we learn to say yes when we feel no because we're afraid of losing those things, which as adults we carry with us often to our grave. So it doesn't matter how old we are, we still play out those patterns where we think we're going to be punished if we're selfish, if we say no, if we're really true to ourselves, or if we really say what we think and feel. You know, we'll lose everybody.
But also it's knowing when to say yes, thank you, or to accept the assistance from other people, or you know, the friendship or the whatever. I just wanted to make a point. The reason you're here is because you are a best-selling author.
Yes.
How are your books going?
Good, thank you. Very good. Thank you.
So, well, no, it's
And the travelling too, because obviously you're doing quite a lot of that, promoting the book and the work that you do.
Yes, in the past, just the past 3 months, I've been in about 12 different cities in the United States and in Australia, and I've had the honor of speaking to about 1,500 people in person myself. And you know, to me, my book is secondary. The primary thing is my message, to share with people the answers I found that helped me to heal my heart and heal my mind, to enjoy this life, to be healthy, to be happy, to have people in my life that I love, work that I love, so that I wasn't just stuck in my misery and my suffering like so many of us are and don't know that there's a way out, basically.
It's an interesting thing, it's an interesting word, that word love, because we often don't sort of realise how that infiltrates absolutely everything we do. It's not just about, if you don't have people to love, what else is there in life at the end of the day?
Yes.
And I've always had a theory in life that you need to have in your life very young people, and you need to have very old people in your life, so that you've got a genuine balance of where we came from and where we're going to, sort of thing, that we know where to adjust ourselves. Not selfishly, but because we can't be part of life unless we're part of all of life. That's my sort of life policy.
Yeah.
Is that a good one to have?
Yeah, well, I don't necessarily believe in good or bad from that perspective, but I think it's healthy to learn from everybody that we come in contact with.
Yes, that's what I
think
feel.
everybody's our teacher. You know, I think you guys are my teacher. You know, I don't mean this with any type of arrogance, but I believe you're our teacher. Everybody we come into contact with says something, does something, mirrors something back to us that we can learn from to become more aware, more understanding, more compassionate, more honest. So definitely with the different generations, children teach us, you know, so much about the innocence that we lost.
joy.
You know, we get so serious about life, and with the responsibilities of adulthood that most of us lose touch with very early. Some of us never even had a childhood because we were put to work, you know, so early. Or a lot of people in Australia grew up on a farm, and you had to work the land, you know, from a very early age. So a lot of us have lost touch with the innocence of childhood, which we all have a little me inside, that inner child that, you know, didn't get the love, or didn't get to play, or didn't get the support it needed. But then also our elders are so important, and we've lost a lot of touch with our elders in this society. You know, a lot of the tribal and native cultures valued that above everything.
Yes.
They went to their elders for advice and counsel. Now we just put them in nursing homes.
Yes.
So, you know, it's like the middle-aged people are working, the kids are at school, the grandparents are in an aged care home, and there's a huge gap. And there's so much to be learned from all generations that we're all really missing out on. Quite a wealth of of wisdom and joy.
Yes,
Well, it's
experience.
needing to be needed.
Yeah.
It's needing to be needed to me. I think we need to have older people in our lives who need us as much as we need them, and children need us to help them develop and grow. So to me, it's also a need to be needed attitude to life, I think. Do you feel that way?
Sharing experiences,
Sharing?
I think.
Yeah.
It is sharing caring. I mean, it is sharing the caring, the love. Here we are again.
It's lovely that you actually came all this way to come and chat to us again, because what I feel from you, you have this lovely warmth in your personality that you sort of bring people into your world. And how do you feel when you're sharing yourself, when you're talking with people? What do you get back for you?
Well, first of all, I believe that, I think in our last interview I talked about how our relationship to ourself determines our relationship to other people. So if we judge ourselves, then we can't help but judge other people. And if we accept ourselves, then we can't help but accept other people. So my journey, I had a lot of things that I didn't like about myself, a lot of things I didn't love about myself. Both, as men, as women, we have insecurities, we have fear, we have guilt, we have shame, regrets from the past. All of these things that I found inside of me as I started to heal and I started to learn about myself and life that I wanted to find peace with. So as I learned to accept those things in myself and not judge them or hide them or pretend they weren't there, and I learned to embrace them, I found that I accepted myself and loved myself on a much deeper level, but I also met the world in that way. So when I sit with someone, and this is part of the effectiveness of the counseling and alternative medicine work I do with people, is that when I come and when someone comes to my office and they sit with me, they can feel in their heart and they feel in their mind that I'm not going to judge them, and they can tell me anything about their past or themselves, no matter how dark it is or how other people have judged it or how they have judged it. And that's the healing, is to be able to let that out and let another human being witness your weakness, witness your darkness or your guilt or your regrets. And once you see that someone can accept that in you, it helps you to actually accept it in yourself. Not that we should wait for someone else, but that's part of the effectiveness of my work. So I notice, I just did a retreat in Byron Bay earlier in September, and I had 40 lovely people come and spend the entire weekend with me, and we just sat kind of like this and talked about the concepts I talk about in my book and concepts we've kind of touched on. And during that weekend, everybody's heart, body, and mind just opens up, which means emotional pain comes out, psychological pain comes out, and lots of physical pain. So even people who have physical pain in their body that is holding them back, through releasing the emotional and psychological stuff that's stuck, the physical pain leaves their body. So, it's an amazing experience for people to have, and to see and feel that for themselves.
Sure.
It's one thing to say it or read it, but to have that experience yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it's that human sharing thing. We could go on talking as we did last time, as we have again. I hope we get a chance to talk with you more and find out just where you're developing yourself in life.
Are we done already?
Yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I know.
So if you get a chance to see Blake anywhere or to share some time with him, I can promise you it will be time well spent. Thanks once again.
Oh, thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for
Blake.
having me. Thank you.